Namaste. Welcome to Youth TV Show Season 8. In today's episode, we are featuring Nepal's Top 7 Young Poets 2017 produced by Leadership Academy. The topic for the final round of Category 6 Bachelor's level is Starting All Over Again. Our judges for today's final round are SANTOSH SHAH. He is the president of Leadership Academy. SHRIRAM RAMAKRISHNA. He is a professor at National University of Singapore. VIVAKANANDAN. Sneha. He is the executive chairman at PSB Academy in Singapore. May I request the finalist Shradda Thapa to come up on the stage with her first poem.
Instructions in writing a perfect suicide letter. 1. Convince yourself you're depressed. Constantly tell yourself that the world is against your puny little existence. Captivate yourself like you're fighting a losing battle against your own personal hell. 2. Embrace the need to hurt yourself, whether it be slicing open your wrist, dissolving your head underwater, or taking a snort of cocaine. Evaluate your chances of survival because you just need that little flare of drama. And all in all, endlessly fret over writing a perfect suicide note. 3. Being doomed in this unfazed, unfair world seems to be a mental rigidity lately. Head turned 360, throat clumped with a lump. Your pores draining life out of you as you pop in those magical pills that slowly lull you to eternal sleep. 4. There is a note folded neatly against your bedside table. Respirator on your lips, IV attached to your wrist. Your suicide note glistening against your palms. With every word you read, your eyes turn blurry, your breath short, your heart heavy, your mind distort. And here you have it, another chance to live. 5. You still keep those letters, embarking on how you choose to survive, glad that you are the one reading your suicide note instead of your loved ones, whom you deprive of the thing that simply faded without one final goodbye. Thank you.
May I request the finalist Sneha Manandhar to come up on the stage with her first poem.
My baby, self-composed. Amma, trust me, this idea is going to shine. Baba, be proud when the interviewers will be standing in a line. I said those words, willing them to come true, but those words have become empty promises through and through. Every move was calculated, every handshake was thought of too. I treated my idea like a child from my own womb. But you never see the imperfections in your child, do you? My child was diseased, bound to never bloom. Many birthdays were missed, many suitors were turned away. A single mother always has her priorities straight. But as the days went on, I had to accept it. My child was diseased. I had to pull the plug on my own kid. The best part of hitting rock bottom, they say, is you only have one way to go. Because plan A has failed, I won't let the other alphabets go. I do have another seed to sow, but my heart will never let my first child go. The end is just the beginning. The beginning brings the end. But I will bring breath to my second child again. Thank you.
May I request the finalist Yaman Thapa to come up on the stage with her first poem.
Well, she had hands and I had hands. Hers just overlapped mine. I thought she was fine. There was something about her shine. And at times her hands would intertwine, filled with lovely lines combined to tell time. She was there for me at bad times, terrible, torturous, sad times, gleeful, generous, glad times, miserable, mad times, but sometimes things got harsh. When my ones all backfired, when my twos were just too tired, when my threes were not entire, when my 4 felt like forever, when my 5 failed at every endeavor, when my shortest 6 was sick, and my sleepy 7s wouldn't tick, felt like my insecurities ate me. Everything was descending. My 11 felt like 9. And even the watch that watched me thought my wrist was a waste of time. Maybe it wasn't a bright time. So I blamed it on my luck. Or maybe it wasn't the right time, just something o'clock. And I kept my mouth shut because my tick just wouldn't talk. But if I couldn't walk this road, I could choose another lane. When time tried to tie me, I made its efforts go in vain. Because I watched in magical midnights. Hands up, I could start all over again.
May I now request the finalists to come up on the stage. May I request the judges for their feedback.
Shradda, Sneha and Yaman, excellent poetry. Excellent. I found three of you have to have very different styles, both of writing and delivery. Shradda, very powerful poetry. It's very powerful poetry, very original and very captivating. And Sneha, what's unique about your delivery is it's an emotional poem but delivered very strongly. And Yaman, I'm glad that you've developed your own style of not just writing the poetry but also delivering it. I don't know whether somebody has told you that or not, but if they haven't, maintain this style. Even if you go into international competitions, this style would go well with that.
Very interesting, quite deep, and also requires a lot of your own minds actually relating to it. I think you all did your best in terms of visualizing the subject and communicating in your own way. The good thing about all three of you is I've been watching, you are helping each other even though you are competing, which is very good. I think that speaks well for the culture in Nepal. I'm very pleased that you are developing your personalities with appropriate culture and goodness in yourself.
Shradda, right? It's very original, and I was thinking where this is going to go. You have taken such a morbid topic at such a young age, and where are you going to bring this? And I was very happy it ended in a very positive light, right? So I liked the message, yeah, and I think you captured what a young person goes through in such a harrowing situation like that. Sneha, I think it's very original of you to correlate a deceased child to an idea. What I liked about your poetry is the message, the central message is that fail you will in business, but you must stand up. Yeah, I think that is a fantastic message, and it was put across in a very stark manner. Again, when you ended up very positively. Yaman, I must say that your alliterations and rhyming has caught me by surprise. I have not seen so much of rhyming and all that in the recent poetries I have come across. I like the message that you brought across. Again, very positive. The way you delivered that was excellent.
We will now begin with the second round. May I request Shradda Thapa to come up on the stage with her second poem.
This poem that I'm going to be reciting is about an abusive relationship from a third-person view. And it is called, If Love Was a Color, It Would Be Black and Blue. You tell me you love him and I'd ask you why. I just don't understand. Tell me why. What kind of love you've received would darken your mind? What kind of love would talk you down and thrash you alive? Tell me, what kind of love would bruise your eye, pull out a chunk of your hair every time is tempered with angst? What kind of love makes you feel better when you wake up after you cover your bruises with your makeup? Tell me how you loved him. Tell me. Tell me, was it the things he brings whenever he painted your body or wild, or was it the ring he sealed on your finger, worth nothing of the pain he brings? You are so much better than him in life. Tell me, is your love worth it when every day you wish he'd die? He'd just die. And now she's here helping him through his misery, only to have hers be ignored, while the demons that haunt her the most is her own. And it was when he was gone she knew what living truly felt like, because she finally could see without the bruise on her eye. Thank you.
May I request Sneha Manandhar to come up on the stage with her second poem.
That night. Him, I trusted above all. He could do no wrong. He was the sun shining in the day. He was the moon beaming at me at night. But then came that night. Shame filled every inch of me. How could I not see the darkness that hid inside of him? I was drowning in a pool of my own tears, all the water suffocating me, drowning me, muffling my cries for help. There was only numbness after, until all at once I would remember me pushing him away, his hands everywhere. Where do I go? Who do I turn to? I was caving up against a wall lined with only his blows. Then came a friend with her hand of gold, nursing my bruises from him. I spoke then after of everything I went through. There were people trying to shove me down, but I would not move. I was a mountain standing tall with the realization that I am strong. Thank you.
May I request Yaman Thapa to come up on the stage with her second poem.
Pillow Palaces. Some nights I wake up after I've seen you peeking from the wrecked windows of my old house. After I've seen you use your little fingers to build pillow palaces. After I've seen you discover rainbows as you tried to shower water from a different angle. I've seen you use chocolate wrappers to make pencil holders and cardboards and love to make little houses. I've seen you trying to fit your big dreams into those little houses. I've seen you tell your stuffed animal army to get to work. Some nights I wake up after I've sensed that your soul was searching for someone to tell them that you knew how to make rainbows, that your little houses had little rooms but a lot of love. Some nights I wake up after I've seen myself fall from my pillow palaces. Some nights I wake up in dreams of you dreaming.
May I now request the finalists to come up on the stage. May I request the judges for their feedback.
Fantastic job, all three of you. It's a very sensitive topic that you all have chosen. Yaman first. Palace, Pillows. A very imaginative title. And I think the anguish that someone goes through in a situation like that, you captured it very well in your poetry. And your expressions were excellent. Sneha, it was a very, very sensitive topic. And I think you handled it so well that we knew what was the message without you being explicit about it. So as a poet, I think you have succeeded. And that's what makes excellent poetry. And I like how you ended up. I am strong. Yeah, it's a very uplifting message. Shradda, family violence. I think you handled a very sensitive topic. And what I liked about what you presented is you brought out the anguish and the emotional upheaval that goes on in a female who is abused. Yeah, and how she can't understand what went wrong and how love can become so violent. And these are the questions that you raised, and it was a dark theme. Yeah, but I think you handled the topic very, very well. Congratulations. So all three of you, well done.
What I felt is you are passionate, you are clear about your topics. Compose, recompose yourself, which is part of being a leader, being someone wanting to do things and make a difference to the world. What I felt was maybe you haven't quite fully internalized why you are doing it. Okay, it's competition, it's poetry. You chose an interesting topic, but what does this actually mean to you? So I believe if you can see poetry more than poetry and something it means deeply to you as this experience as a multiplier effect for you, in terms of your own originality, creativity, delivery of the topic, and the confidence you displayed. I was quite amazed that you demonstrated good confidence, and I see you are composed. You are not, suddenly lost the cool. So it's good. All the best to you.
Shradda, Sneha and Yaman, again, excellent poetry. As Professor said, poetry is excellent, but your delivery is good. Delivery also needs to be excellent. So had you internalized that, your poetry could not just bring tears to any listeners. It breaks somebody's heart. It's that strong a poetry. But then most of you are struggling with your memory and just trying to read it out. Delivery is very significant because that's television. Shradda, like your poetry is very realistic. You use the storytelling format. And it's always amazing when you take a contemporary issue and bring it into poetry and use a storytelling format. So I don't know whether you knew that or not, but it's a very interesting format to do that. You could maintain this almost. Every poet has their own style, and this could be one newly discovered style of yours, or maybe you already know this. Sneha, one of the best recitation I've ever heard. Your poetry was good, but your recitation, the way you moved, you flowed, almost like we were traveling with you along your poetry. And you improved a lot since your semi-final, right? Which is a great thing. Yaman, again, you maintained your own style, which is excellent, and you stimulate somebody's imagination. People in today's world are not very imaginative, but even if they heard your poetry, they would start imagining, right? So it's a great power of a recitation.
The judges are finalizing their marks, and we are eagerly waiting to know who is declared the winner and runner-ups.
The winner of Nepal's Top 7 Young Poets 2017 Category 6 Bachelor's level is Shradda Thapa. The second winner is Yaman Thapa. And the third winner is Sneha Manandhar.
Congratulations to the winner and the runner-ups. Leadership Academy conducts Nepal's top 7 debaters and Nepal's top 7 young poets every year. If you are a student between grade 7 and bachelor's level and interested to audition for any of these two competitions, you can approach the principal or ECA coordinator at your school or college. You can follow us at facebook.com Leadership Academy KTM. We will be back next week with a new episode of Youth TV Show. Namaste.